Hello. Today in class we were looking at types of problems that apply strings and arrays to methods. So we were talking about different types of questions that might come up, and we were talking about types of questions that would be a little bit more challenging with a little twist on them, so to speak. And this was a question that a student came up with. So I thought I'd make a solution and go through it since we didn't have a chance in class. So we want to write a method called find average length. This method takes an array of strings as an argument. It should return a double, which represents the average length of all the strings in the array. So if we had to do this mathematically, we could do this pretty well. If my list of words was 1, 2, 3, 4, and airplane, it's pretty simple. I'd say this has a length of 3, this has a length of 3, this has a length of 5, this has a length of 4, this is a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'd simply add up all the lengths and then divide by the number of words there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason why this is a little different is because in our practice test we saw a question that just asked you to add up the elements in an array and find the average. But in this case we have to grab the word from the array, find the length, and then add it to the sum. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this problem by making a double variable called AVG, and we're going to set equal to 0. So this is just like if you had an array of integers or doubles and you wanted to find the average of all the elements. The only difference is we have to take the element and then find the length of the element. So we're going to use a for loop. And remember, we always want to use the built-in command to get the length of an array or the length of a string. This is a really key point to take away from this unit. Always have the computer do the calculating of lengths. The reason why is because that way you can send an array of any size and it would deal with that. So then we say I is equal to I plus 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this average variable to first store the sum. So it's going to be a self-referencing assignment statement, so it's going to be the average, whatever's in there, plus, so now I'm going to take, listed I would take the first element. So, well, if I is 0. So imagine this was list of 0. So that is going to be the word 1, which is a string. But I want the length of that. So if I do listed I, which is the word 1, since that's a string, I can then do dot length. So what this does is that it's a self-referencing assignment statement that first takes the element from the array, which is a string, and then accesses the length of that string to add to average. Some students might want to do this. Make a temporary variable called L, which is length, and say L is equal to list at I dot length. And then we could add L. So we do it in 2 steps. We find the length of one specific word, and then we add it on to average. But I much prefer to do it in 1 step there. Of course, once we found the sum of all once we found the sum of the lengths of the words, I then need to actually calculate the average. So the average is going to equal to whatever the average is, divided by the number of elements in the array. So I just go list.length. So this can be a little bit confusing here. Notice how length is sometimes in blue and then length in other times has brackets. The one where the word is blue, which means it's a reserved word, what that is actually doing is that's calculating the length of the array. So if we have the array words, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. Where we have length with brackets after it, that means we're calling a method, and that method specifically finds the length of a string. So if I have list at 0, let's say, that will give the word 1, and then we want to find the length of 1, which would be 3. Of course, I still have an error with this method because it has to return a double, so I just say return AVG. Now we can test this. We can do system.println, find average length, and we're going to pass it words. So let's give this a go. And we get about 4.6. Let's let's do an example we can easily calculate. So let's go 1, 2, 4, 5, and the average of this should be 4.5, and of course if we run it, oh sorry, 3.5, not 4.5. Okay, when we run it, we get 3.5, and we're good to go. I hope this video helped, and like I said, come up with your own problems, and if you have any that you want to run by me, please let me know and we'll take a look at them. Have a great day.